Hey everybody, this is Nicole from Wildflower Valley Farm. So yesterday I stopped in at my local Tractor Supply to buy some feed for the rabbits and the chickens, and I found that they had zero, like nothing on the shelf for rabbit feed. They had some, your little small, like 5-pound bags and 2-pound bags of the things with the little colored treats in it, that I recommend that people not even buy for pet rabbits. And that was all they had. They had nothing on the shelf for, in the 50-pound bags of things that those of us who breed rabbits for meat are going to be looking to buy. And by nothing, I mean nothing. They didn't even have a space on the shelf for it. So, when you get up to the register and the cashier asks you, oh, did you find everything you need? I said, no, I didn't. I didn't find any rabbit feed. He said, oh, we have plenty. It's in the back, in the storage room. I said, why is it not on the shelf for people to look at and buy? They don't have space for it in their store. He offered to go get a bag, but I wanted to actually check some prices at another store instead. But it just doesn't make sense to me that you would carry a product and put none of it on the floor for people to even know it's there to ask for. So when you leave Tractor Supply, when you check out, I did buy what I needed for the chickens there. When you leave Tractor Supply, on the receipt, they always have a survey that they want you to fill out. So on the survey, I, marked the selections. Did you find everything you need? Did a sales associate try to help you? And of course, I marked all the appropriate boxes. Well, it gives you a comment box to put in what it was you were not satisfied with. And I explained that I was very disappointed that they had no rabbit feed on the shelf for customers to even browse. I do like to look and see what my different options are. Sometimes the price changes. Sometimes, and I explained this on another video, any bagged feed product that has a paper tag, the ingredients, not the actual what goes in it, but like the quality of the ingredients and the nutrition information is subject to change based on what's available at the time that particular pelleted feed was manufactured. So the protein content may change from one batch to another. For example, I have discovered just recently that the Tractor Supply brand, Producer's Pride, their rabbit feed used to be 16-17% protein, and now it has, the last several times that I have checked, it is consistently only 15% protein, which in my opinion is not a high enough protein for rabbits. In my experience, they need at least 17. 18 is better if you can get it, but 17 is about average. 16 would be okay if you're going to supplement with some other high protein things, like, maybe you're going to add in some other fatty foods like sunflower seeds or something like that to kind of offset the lower protein. But 16% is kind of bare minimum. You don't really want to go lower than that. 17 is better. 18 is really optimal. Well, the Tractor Supply brand, that Producer's Pride, has been consistently, for the past few months at least, only 15% protein. So I don't want to buy that. But some of the other brands, I want to check those and see, do they have one that is an 18%? Or I'd settle for 17 if that's what they had. But I need to be able to see what products they have on the shelf and read those tags before I can make an educated decision on what I'm going to buy. So when I filled out the survey, I explained, not quite in such detail on the comment box, but I just explained that I like to browse the products before I decide what I'm going to buy. And when everything is in the back in the storage room, that is not possible. So just a few hours later, I was actually impressed with their customer service, because just a few hours later, they emailed me back and told me that they had made the store manager here aware of the problem, and they apologized for the fact that their store was too small, and they would be working with someone, you know, in upper management that is like a designer for the layout of the store and where different products are supposed to be placed on the shelves and things like that. So they're going to be working with them to try to correct that problem so that the rabbit feed can be available on the shelf. But in the meantime, they told me that they were going to put the rabbit feed on the floor, just kind of in a temporary location near the service desk. So I am here at Tractor Supply. I'm about to go in the store and see if it's there, and we'll just see, you know, what did they put out. I found out by looking at their website that they actually have products available, and apparently have, that have never been on the shelf at this particular store. So I'm just kind of curious if they have all of that available on the floor now today, or if they've only put one or two things out, or what they've done. So I'm going to go in here and look and see what they've done, and I'll let y'all know what I find out. So I'm in the Tractor Supply, and they did put some feed out in the location that they told me they were going to. But as you can see, they put out one brand, which happens to be their brand. And it is exactly what I explained I don't want to purchase, because the protein is only 15%. That is less than acceptable, in my opinion, for rabbits that are being bred for meat, especially. So I won't be purchasing anything from their store today, and I guess we'll just kind of see in the future if they make any changes and go from there. Okay, so I didn't want to stand in the store and continue my thoughts standing there in the middle of their floor, but I realized that the employees there at the store and the customer service employee that was answering my email could not possibly have known that their brand, the Producer's Pride brand, is the one brand I know that I'm not interested in buying. But that's the only brand that they put available on the floor to be purchased. And that kind of defeats the whole point of my message to them, which was that I need to be able to browse the products to see what you have available. I want to be able to read those tags and determine which product I want to buy. But they've only given me one option. And like I said, I realized they had no way of knowing it's the one option I don't want to buy. But I won't be buying any rabbit feed at Tractor Supply today. I might check back later and see what they have to say. The email that I received did say that if I had any other questions, I could just reply back to that email. So I'm going to do that and kind of explain to them why this still doesn't work. I realize I'm just one person, and I'm not the only customer that they have to worry about, and they may not care what my opinion is, and that's okay if they don't. But I kind of think they're making a poor business decision to not put their rabbit feed on the shelf or on the floor for people to even know it's available to purchase. I'm not the only person in this area that breeds rabbits. There are several in this area. Several that are right here in this town. I don't even live in this town. This is just the closest Tractor Supply for me to shop at. I know that there are several here in this town that probably shop at this Tractor Supply, and maybe they know to ask for just exactly what they want, because maybe they only buy the exact same feed every time. But like I said, you know, when a bagged feed has that paper tag on it, that means that the nutritional value of that product could change from time to time, and I want to compare that to make sure that I'm buying the best feed for my rabbits. It doesn't have to be the most expensive to be the best quality, but if I can't compare that nutritional value on those tags, I don't know what I'm buying or what my options are, and I'm not going to buy an inferior product just because that's the only thing you, the store owner, want to put on the shelf to make available, and even then it's only because I complained. So we'll see where this goes. I don't know if I'll be buying rabbit feed from Tractor Supply in the future. I don't feel like the blame should be on these particular store employees. I've worked in retail. I've actually worked for Tractor Supply many, many years ago. And the employees at this particular store are doing what people higher up in the chain of authority are telling them to do. They're putting things in the location in the store that they have been told to put it. They're not necessarily making that decision. The store manager may have a little bit of wiggle room to make some decisions on certain things, but the employees at this particular store, I don't feel like they are personally at fault. So I'm not blaming them, but you know, it is kind of frustrating when there's only 2 feed stores available to me, and one of them normally closes before I even get off work. So Tractor Supply is normally where I buy my feed, and in this particular instance, they're making it very difficult for me to do so. So I'll go ahead and end this video now. That's going to be all for today's video. Sorry that it's kind of a negative video. I try to keep things a little more upbeat and talk about, you know, good and happy things on this channel, but I just kind of wanted to put that out there. I'd love to hear your all's comments about your experiences, you know, at your local feed store. Not necessarily just Tractor Supply, but what local feed store and what kind of rabbit feeds do you have available? Maybe you use a product that I don't know about, and maybe I could have it special ordered by somebody. I don't know. I would love to know. If you buy pelleted feed, what brand do you feed to your rabbits and why? And if you want to share a link to that product's website, feel free to do so. I will check all those out and see if there are other options that maybe I don't know about. Thanks for watching.